Hi, everybody. Wayne Dorban here from Northern Colorado. How are you doing today? Merry Christmas, by the way, for those of you who celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. And happy holidays, as it's close to that end of the year time when most of us celebrate something related to year end. I'm doing two things today. One, testing out Webinar Jam. I was one of the very early adopters, but have really used other platforms in the recent past, and I'm really excited about using Webinar Jam now. Second, I have a message that I really want to give to you, something that I think will help you start your year off in an amazing way. So, this is going to be relatively short, but I really wanted to deliver it today on Christmas. So, what we're going to talk about is don't let circumstances or past adversity steal your dreams. So let me summarize what we're going to do. Real quickly, I'm just going to talk about a little of my own circumstances in my past, adversity that I've faced. Then I'm going to talk about several features that you can use and hopefully not have my dog bark too much during our talking. And then we'll summarize. And like I said, it'll be fairly short. I'm going to show a little video somewhere near the end, mainly just to see how Webinar Jam handles that, but also just because it's got a message that I think that you all will enjoy. So let's just get started. A little about me. I'm 64 years old, so that's one of those circumstances we're going to talk about. I have faced some adversity fairly recently, but I've also had an amazing amount of positive and good things happen in my life. So, what about being 64 years old and having a webinar saying, don't let circumstances steal your dreams? I know that a number of you out there that are in the baby boomer generation who have faced just some struggle, you're quitting. You don't even think there's a future for yourself. You are so wrong. You can do a lot. And we're going to talk about that. Okay, the other thing, my adversity. In 2006, I was at the high point of a business career. I had made a lot of money doing things that I loved doing. I had had great success with my family, 4 children, all of which were doing great and still are today. An amazing wife, Deb, who is right there with me. You've actually seen her in the background a little here. A business and several of them that had done very well. And I was at the point where I was semi-retiring. I moved from Southeast Denver, where we'd been for 17 years, basically where we had grown our kids up, what had been home. And we had moved to Northern Colorado to start a dream life, to build a dream home on amazing property, and then to follow additional business activities, mainly involving real estate. So we did all of that. All of it was just looking really, really good. I was able to take over a nonprofit called the Institute of Economics that was right in my passion. Dennis Weaver had founded that entity, and he had died and wanted someone to take it on and follow it ahead. And simply his vision, which was similar to mine, was to help people make some money, making people and the planet better. So we had started that. We had built the dream home on the amazing property, and then the world crashed. A home that we built for $2.2 million in 2008, and we finished it early in the year. 2 years later, it was worth under $1 million. We were making our payments. We had bought a number of other properties that we were going to develop into what we called green developments, where instead of having a homeowners association with a big piece of green grass and a little community building and a swimming pool where people hardly ever used it, instead we were going to have farms that would be the open space for the properties, in which people living in the subdivisions could participate as steward farmers or not if they chose to. We would encourage things like solar, wind, other kinds of economic activities. All of a sudden, one day we get a phone call from our banker and said, "We've got to call your loans." What? Yep, calling your loans. You got to pay them off. Well, how could you do that? We've been making our payments. Matter of fact, we're ahead on our payments in some of the loans. Sorry, you're done. Give us $10 million. That was what we had used on credit lines and had as the amount of money on mortgages. We even had one of the subdivisions where we had pre-sold lots. And we were in recession. Yeah, property values had gone down. I've been in 3 of them previously in my business life, and we always recovered from them, and we would recover from this one. As you all know, we have recovered. The economy's what it should do totally, but it's the real estate values, at least in our part of the world, are higher than they were in 2006. So we fought it for about 2 years between 2010 and 2012, and the lender just said, you got to pay. We're going to sue you. They did. They sued us. And finally, in 2013, we were forced to declare personal and corporate bankruptcy. 2 things in my life that I just swore that would never happen. One is I'd never get divorced, and that had happened earlier, which wasn't very good at the time, but actually turned out to be a huge blessing and allowed me to marry Deb, and we've been together 36 years now. And anyway, that's a long time ago. That was adversity with a young man. But now you're talking a 60-year-old guy facing essentially losing everything. And we reached the conclusion that, you know what? We might. As a matter of fact, very likely we are. We're going to lose it all. And we lost essentially everything financially, but we didn't lose each other. We didn't lose the Institute of Economics. We didn't lose our animals that you'll hear about if you start to follow us at all. But we lost all of our money. We lost other assets that we had, all of those properties. We only held on to our home because of what's called the Homestead Act that allows you to keep the place that you live in. It was pretty bad. It would have been really easy. And I know so many people that did, that are now my age, younger even, some older, who quit. They're done. They're living on Social Security now, gave up on their dreams. So that's a little bit about my story. Circumstances, age, could quit, adversity, losing everything financially. Here we are now, 4 years later, moving into 2017. We haven't quit at all. Just the opposite. We're more excited about our dreams and goals than ever. Now, has everything gone well financially? No, not yet. We're still climbing one step at a time up a ladder. But everything is working in a positive way, and our attitudes are as good or better than they've ever been. Are times tough? Yep, they are. Is it tougher when you're older? Yep, it is. But there's also some really positive things that you can have. And this is where I'm going to give you sort of some of what could be the solutions for you. First, don't let anyone ever steal your dreams. That's going to be the biggest risk you face. And you probably already are. Your kids are telling you, just step back. You're old now. You don't do what you used to do or tried to do. Just hang out, live in my basement, or live in a motor, move into an apartment. You don't need to do that. The people closest to you will oftentimes be those who will try to steal your dream. Don't let anyone do it. They're yours, nobody else's. Don't let anyone ever steal your dreams. That's going to be the big message of this short webinar. Also, you're much younger than you think. You'll hear, the average lifetime of people in America is going to be 74 for women and maybe 73 for men or something. And you're in your 60s, you're just about dead. No, you're not. That's the wrong way to portray it. Here's a stat that is important to you. It's not the average lifespan of all the population that's important. It doesn't matter what 2-year-olds' average lifespans are going to be. It matters for you at whatever age you're at. And if you're at 60 right now, the average 60-year-old is living to be 85, more than 10 years longer. If you're 65, it's even higher. The farther you get up, the older you get, the average lifespan goes up because you've shown that you have more health. You aren't suffering from something at this point. So you're a lot younger than you believe. Know that. Keep that in your mind. Don't let anybody tell you you're old. You're not. Don't let people steal your dreams, and don't let anybody tell you you're too old for anything. Financial crises. I know what some of you are thinking. If you went through it, I'm not worthy. I screwed up. I failed. I'm a failure. No, you're not. You failed. We all fail. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb. This is his words. He said, I just failed 9,999 times and I got lucky once. Failing is what all people that are successful know that has to happen in their lives. They have to fail. They just have to get back up and try again. Failing is part of success. Failure is not an option. Failure is quitting. Fail. Fail often. Fail well. Do not quit. Do not be a failure. You only failed financially once. You probably look back and look at all the positives. You probably had lots of things that you succeeded with. You're not a failure. You've just failed. A baseball player, the very best in the world, they only do something good 3 out of 10 times. They fail 7 out of 10 times. Are they failures? No, they're the best in the world. Don't let a financial crisis or issue that you had in the past or may still be facing make you feel unworthy. Get over it. Get over it and move ahead. So, last, I'm going to end with just something again that is what I've done to get over it. I followed my dreams. One of those being, as I told you when we started this webinar, to help people make some money making the planet better. One of the benefits of the bankruptcy is that I realized I was putting way too much emphasis, way too much, on financial success that was related to the amount of money that I ended up having in the bank or in my pocket. You can do very well with probably less than you believe. You can earn appropriate amounts. You can do more investing in your own life and in the lives of others. Not in money, not in toys. I had bought so many toys. This dream home, it was a dream nightmare because it was stupid to have had it at the point in our lives that we did, or at any point. We didn't need that ridiculously big and expensive McMansion. We live right down the road from it now. We look up at it. Some of you have looked up at your dreams and thought, crazy. Don't do that. So I have done something, which is to follow the dream of economics. So I'm going to play a little video right now and let you watch. Economics is a word that the now deceased actor, Dennis Weaver, but more important, not just an actor. Dennis Weaver was an amazing environmentalist. And back in about 1990, he made that word up. And in 1993, he formed an entity, a nonprofit called the Institute of Economics. And economics, there's a definition of it, it's in the dictionary, is the synergy. So the positiveness, the bigger value that comes out of ecology and economy together. He described economics as the helping people make an appropriate amount of money by making the planet better. The Economic Action Team is a new paradigm in coaching, mentoring, teaching, and networking for the sustainability, permaculture, green, regenerative, access and sharing, all kinds of different words, which we've chosen to put them all together and say really what they are is economics. You stay involved with us. Remember, you are going to be founding members of this Economic Action Team, of the EAT program. You'll get this stuff free for as long as you stay involved. For this purpose, I am passionate about water, all things living in water. And for some reason, some people have green thumbs, but I've, for whatever reason, had a blue thumb. And that's my word that I'm making up. For whatever reason, for as long as I can remember back to childhood even, I've been able to kind of know how to grow things in water. I never have done really well with students that didn't care, that were only in a classroom or were only where they're at because they had to be, or for some reason. I could see it in them, I could feel it, and I didn't really care about them if they didn't care about the topic. But if you care, if you're passionate, if you want to learn, then I'm the teacher. I love teaching you. So, just a little something I've done. Maybe not for you, although you might want to join that EAT community. If you're somebody that has any kind of thoughts about or the planet get better, maybe that could be for you at this time in your life. I want to work with who have quit previously or who are, it's maybe you anyway, but there's a lot of other things you can do. And again, in summary, don't let anyone steal your dreams, and you're not a failure. Maybe you failed, but you're going to need to fail a bunch of times to be successful. Again, this is Wayne Dorban. Thanks for being with me. Have a Merry, Merry Christmas. Even if you're watching this later, I just wish you the best for your life and for your family. But mainly, don't let anybody steal your dreams, ever.